What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about April Fool's Day. So, today it's April Fool's Day Eve. So, what better day to talk about April Fool's Day? Actually, maybe April Fool's Day itself would have been a better day to talk about it. But what are you going to do? And it's actually Easter today too. So, happy Easter to everyone. Enjoy that nice ham, those delicious Cadbury eggs. Have a beautiful time. But anyways, like I said, it's April Fool's Day Eve, so we're getting into April Fool's Day. So first things first, I'm just gonna give you all my overall thoughts about this movie. I thought this movie was good. The kills were not great, but I liked the movie overall. The movie was really entertaining. I was very invested in the mystery and the whodunit aspect, and there were a lot of twists and turns, and I feel like this was a very unique and creative slasher movie. So especially compared to a lot of other 80s slashers. Like, this came out in the heyday of slashers, and a lot of slashers, even though I like some slasher movies that are more like formulaic, this one kind of flipped the script. Like, I was not expecting a lot of stuff in this movie, and it was very different. It was its own thing. So yeah, I thought this was a good little movie. I had a good time. Now I'm going to jump into a little plot summary. So you got this group of college kids. It's the weekend leading up to April Fool's Day, and they're on spring break. So they're going to this one girl's, it's her family's estate. It's pretty much like a vacation home. It's like a big mansion, and it's located on an island, and it's an island, so they got to take a little ferry to get there. And when they're taking the ferry, there's this one deckhand, and all the kids are pulling all these crazy April Fool's Day pranks on the ferry, and everyone's distracted, and this deckhand gets severely injured. His face is all just totally messed up. It's all bloody. I think his eyeballs popping out. So yeah, he gets rushed away on like a little boat to go fix him up. And basically, once this group of college kids gets to the estate, they're pulling April Fool's Day pranks on each other, and then people start getting killed, and they have a couple ideas of who it might be. A lot of the kids think that it's that gentleman who they severely injured, and he's coming back to get revenge on them. And then later on in the movie, they also think that it might be this main girl, Muffy, who her family owns the estate. They think, because she's kind of been acting weird, just not acting like herself, so they think she might be the killer as well. So it's a little whodunit mystery. I mean, I could go on about the plot, but for this type of movie, since it is a whodunit and there's like a crazy twist ending, I really do not want to give any spoilers, because I think this is a movie you got to go in pretty darn blind. So yeah, I don't want to be a a-hole and just spoil this movie like a gosh darn goober. But anyways, jumping into a bunch of random points here. There's a lot of familiar faces in the movie. So the main girl, Muffy, she's played by Deborah Foreman, who she was in Valley Girl. You got Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2. You got the gentleman who, he was like the main guy in the first Leprechaun. He's one of the college kids. You got the guy who played Biff in Back to the Future. He's in their group of friends. And then just like a fun little fact, this movie was actually produced by Frank Mancuso Jr. And you know, a lot of people may be familiar with that name. He worked on a bunch of the Friday the 13th movies. Like he produced quite a few of them. He might have done, you know, other stuff, but I know he produced quite a few of them. So yeah, he produced this as well, so that's pretty darn cool. A little connection there. You got the Frank Mancuso Jr. connection, and then like the Amy Steele connection to Friday the 13th, so pretty darn cool. Moving on, this is a point that I kind of want to touch on. So, okay, I just reviewed Slaughter High on the channel, and I went into that movie blind. I didn't really know there was a connection to April Fool's Day, but Slaughter High is centered around April Fool's Day. Basically, it's about a April Fool's Day prank gone wrong, and that movie Slaughter High was gonna be titled April Fool's Day originally, but they realized this movie April Fool's Day was in production and, you know, set for release the same year, so they changed the title to Slaughter High. So since you know, I don't always compare movies on the channel or do rankings, but what the heck, I mean, you got two April Fool's Day movies that came out the same year. I'm gonna compare them, especially because I just reviewed that movie. So in my opinion, between the two, you know, 1986 April Fool's centric movies, I think April Fool's Day is way better than Slaughter High. But, you know, it depends what you're into. So Slaughter High had both of the movies, they're on like opposite ends of the spectrum. Slaughter High has absolutely fantastic kills, but the characters and the story is pretty boring. This movie, I feel like the story, the mystery, the whodunit elements, like the story is very entertaining, and the movie as a whole is a better movie, but the kills are terrible. So it depends what you're into, but I thought April Fool's Day overall was just a better made movie, a more entertaining movie. So I would say out of the two 1986 April Fool's Day related movies, April Fool's Day is the better movie. So if you only have time to check out one, definitely check out this one. But, you know, like I said, Slaughter High is still cool kills. You know, there's some cool stuff going on. But yeah, this one's better, in my opinion. All right, now we're moving on. I mentioned this earlier. The kills in this were not good, like at all. There was barely any gore. There was a lot of cutaway kills. But with that being said, I feel like the fact that there were not great kills in this movie, it worked in the context of this movie. If you watch this entire movie, I feel like people who like this movie might agree with me that this movie doesn't really call for great kills with the story and some reveals later on. It just, I don't know, like, it didn't really bother me that much that there weren't great kills. But just to mention a couple kills that I kind of liked, this isn't really a kill, but this is just like a kind of a sequence that I liked. There's this one sequence where this girl goes down this well, and then she just finds like decapitated heads of her friends and all her friends' dead bodies in the well. I thought that was awesome. And it reminded me of the movie Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf. That's a great movie. He's just like punching his teacher in the face. Like, I mean, that movie rocks. But anyways, it reminded me of that movie where, you know, he goes in the killer's basement and he finds all these like dead bodies in the water. So I really like that. And then this one kill that was just like out of left field was this one guy just out of nowhere gets his dick chopped off, and I was just like, I had to do a double take. I was like, is this real life? Like, it was just out of nowhere. There was like all the kills were, you know, pretty standard, pretty run of the mill, and then homeboy just gets his package completely chopped off, which that kill was kind of funny too, because I mean he just gets his you know, his penis chopped off, and then he just instantly dies. Like, I don't really know if that will kill you. Maybe you could die from blood loss, but there was only like a little bit of blood, so that was kind of funny. But I don't know. And then for me personally, that kind of like once that one guy got his dick chopped off, I'm like, okay, this killer is absolutely insane. It's one thing to slit someone's throat. It's one thing to, you know, stab someone, shoot someone, but if you're gonna chop off someone's dick, you're sadistic. That's hardcore. Like, you wanted them to suffer. I was like, okay, whoever this killer is, they're unhinged, they're crazy, they're absolutely just they've lost it. They lost it. All right. So yeah, once I saw that, I was like, this killer's not playing. Like, I'm scared. I'm scared. If you're out here chopping off dicks, then I don't want to mess with you. At that point, I would have just swam 50 miles to the nearest civilization. Like, you got to do what you got to do in that situation. And if they're chopping off dicks, like, you got to split. You know, that's what I tell them. But anyways, moving on. I kind of touched on this also, but I thought the whodunit elements and the mystery elements were fantastic. There were so many twists. There were so many things I didn't see coming. All the twists were executed well. Like, you know, I watch a lot of these whodunit slasher movies. You know, some of the time, well, I'm kind of a simpleton, so some of the time I can't figure it out. But, you know, some of the time I can figure out because, you know, I've seen so many of these movies. I was completely shocked with the ending of this movie. I was like, what the heck, dude? Like, what the heck is going on? Is this for real? So yeah, the whodunit mystery elements were fantastic. I also thought the characters in this movie were pretty darn fun and pretty likable. They were all, you know, joking around, having a good time. And in my opinion, they felt like they were like real friends. Like, they seemed like they would really, you know, hang out with each other. A lot of movies, you're like, these people would never hang out with each other. They're like completely different. They have no chemistry. Like, they just felt like, you know, like real college kids. They were just having a fun time. I like the characters in this. And then I don't know why I just wrote down Sporto, because there's this one instance where one of the college guys is insulting this other guy, and he just calls him Sporto. And the only other time I've heard that is in Breakfast Club when Bender calls Emilio Estevez's character Sporto. And I mean, that's just a great insult. I don't know if people ever actually used that in the 80s or if it's just a movie thing, but I mean, we got to bring that back. That's a great insult. I'm gonna start using it. I'm just gonna go up to random people on the streets if they're wearing like a sports jersey. I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, Sporto, you want to fight? Like, you're a punk. You're a punk, Sporto, MF. I don't rock with you. You're crusty." So yeah, you know, that's great that they use Sporto as an insult. It's a great insult, very underrated, and that bumps the movie up at least 4 notches for me. So that's, you know, take that into consideration, movies. Just, if you know, I'm a simple man. If you call someone Sporto as an insult, it bumps up your movie 10 levels, 24 levels, in my opinion. I don't know why I keep saying my opinion. All these videos in my opinion. I'm being redundant. What's going on? I'm repeating stuff. What am I, like a pop singer? What am I, a rapper? What am I, Lil Pump out here repeating stuff? But I don't know. Anyways, last point. Once again, I briefly touched on this already, but in the same in the vein of repeating stuff, I'm gonna repeat some more stuff. I'm gonna go with it. Basically, the twist ending. You got to talk about the twist ending in this. So I went into this movie completely blind. I was not spoiled, and I feel like this ending in this movie, it's kind of like a love it or hate it situation. I feel like this movie, like, people, I feel like this is the type of movie people are not just gonna be like, it was okay. I feel like you either like it and you think it's, really good and really unique, or you absolutely, because this movie kind of takes some risks. It's a little different than a lot of other 80s slashers. You either love it and you like it for taking those risks, or you think it's stupid and it's just like, what the heck? Like, this is, what are they doing? Like, they're trying to reinvent the wheel and it didn't work. But in my opinion, I thought all the risks they took paid off. I thought this was a super unique movie, and the twist in this, oh my goodness, I did not see the twist coming whatsoever. I thought the ending was fantastic. I was so shocked. I was like, no way. Because there was so many, like, I kept thinking that I had it figured out. I did not. And it was great, going in blind, because there's been so many iconic movie twists that I've already known before I've seen the movie. This movie I didn't know. So I thought the twist ending was phenomenal. It was the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. It was thebomb.com. So yeah, shouts out to the ending. I gotta give props to the filmmakers. It was absolutely unreal. So that's the last little thing that I wanted to mention. So I'm gonna give my little recommendation and head out. So, like I said, it's April Fool's Day Eve. April Fool's Day is right around the corner. I'm gonna say April Fool's Day 50 times. But anyways, if you're looking for a nice, topical movie, something that centers around April Fool's Day, I would say definitely check out the 1986 film April Fool's Day. It's a great horror film. It's a great slasher film. The twist ending is absolutely fantastic. So I watched this movie on Pluto TV for free. So, what's your excuse? It's free. What are you waiting for? Go watch it now. No, you don't have to watch. Yeah, I mean, you could do whatever you want. Do whatever the heck you want to do. I'm like the Hodge twins. Do whatever the F you want to do. Shouts out to the Hodge twins. But anyways, yeah, check out this movie. It's the bee's knees. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about April Fool's Day. There you go. I'm saying it again. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.